Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Matt Connarton from IPMNation.com here with you. And this week we've got a fun show. I had the privilege of sitting down with the guys from Revelation Nation 777. It's a long name, but we played a couple tracks and we had quite a conversation. We covered a lot of stuff. Really interesting to get to know these guys. So we're going to play a song to open. This is called Beaten Path. And then we'll get into the interview after that. I'm going to, we won't be able to fit the full thing in probably because we talked for a long time. Like I said, it was really interesting to get to know these guys. But we'll share as much as we can. But here it is. This is the first single from Revelation Nation 777. This is called Beaten Path to open up this week's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
I read the news today about a world full of people that have gone astray. Tornadoes and hurricanes, they're a natural act and nature devastates. Oh, all your life you want to sail away. The beaten path is now pale and gray. Wars and rumors of wars. The harlot she sits upon every shore. Slogans and bogus campaigns. A propaganda will twist, don't let it infiltrate. Oh, all your life you wanna sail away. The beaten path is now pale and open to the madness. Tears stream from my face from all the sadness. Oh, all your life you wanna sail away. The beaten path is now pale and gray.
That is Beaten Path, and the band is Revelation Nation 777. That's a long name, but we've got a couple of the guys here. Marky is here. Hello, sir.
How you doing, man?
Good. And we have Will over there on the couch.
How you doing?
Good. The band isn't just you guys, right?
No, we currently are looking for a new bass player and drummer. Didn't work out with the couple we had.
Yeah,
weren't dedicated enough. And just didn't fit. And
is there some dirt there you can share? I'm always looking for the dirt, Marky.
Well,
I'm always looking for the dirt.
Well, I can tell you this: that a drummer we fired, we played with him 30 years ago, I guess, because we're old guys. But he got mad, and then our posters started getting ripped down. And,
really?
Yeah, and just crazy stuff. But I guess it's the politics of rock. I don't know, but we love the guy still.
You mean
we have nothing against him?
So you fired him and he started ripping down your posters? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Pretty much so.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
As long as we can track it
typical
down
band
to.
politics.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds like kind of a negative dude.
Yeah, he turned into
ripping
that.
down posters.
Never used to be.
Oh, I just real. You can pull your mic up. Will.
All right.
I just
Thank
realized how far away you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't be. You can pull it up closer than that.
Cool.
Yeah, don't be
Your mouth,
afraid to.
bro.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I mean, I know
Well,
these.
we record, 6 feet away from my mic and whatever.
I know these screens aren't the cleanest. I try not to think about it, and then I realize, it's pretty dirty.
As long as they got food and stuff in them. I guess
That's all right.
good.
My mic's the same way.
Right. Well, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
So one guy you had to what happened to that was the drummer you were talking about, right? And what
Yeah.
happened to the bass player?
The bass player, he fell off, man.
Yeah,
He was really showing a lot of potential, and but he just couldn't show up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Couldn't show up,
transportation
and
issues.
we-
Same, like I said, just band stuff that always gets in the way.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
And he's a good guy.
Yeah,
He's a great guy,
Nothing bad
and
against him.
I wish him the best. And
Yeah.
it's just I just think that he, with us, we've been doing this for so long, in that, when we have our own rhythm and stuff, so it's hard for someone to catch on to just walk into it and just fall in without a drummer even, and just
Yeah.
going along with either a metronome or a drum track that we go along with to practice and what stuff. you
Yeah.
know. So I think he got to the point where he just felt he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And,
no confidence.
yeah,
Lack of
right. I mean, he's a
confidence.
great guy.
Kind of
He's just-
scared.
Yeah.
Kind of scared of where we were going.
Yeah.
Talking about we might be on the radio and things are going to get big, because we know they are. We believe, and we're big believers, and we believe that by 2020, Revelation Nation 777 is going to be a household name,
Very nice.
so to speak.
We're hoping.
Very nice.
Praying.
So tell me about the name. Like I said, it's a long name. Revelation Nation 777.
Yeah.
What-
Well,
what-
we're big believers in God. That's our belief. But we don't push that on anybody.
Yeah.
It's an individual relationship with Him.
Yeah.
And but we're very positive, and we just want people to love each other, man. Too many people getting mad at text messages, as I told you before, and not talking for 6 months, and then God forbid something happens to one of them.
Right.
How would you feel if the last thing that person remembers that you were mad at them and you hated them?
Oh,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
And we're big on racism. We don't like racism, bigotry. We're
No,
dead set against that.
Yep.
Everybody should just love each other, man. We all bleed the same color blood.
Right. Right. Yeah, exactly. No, well said. But what's the significance of the 777?
Must tell them.
You want me to tell him? Okay.
It's biblical.
All right. Well, since we a long time ago, we both played in the same band, and then we've played in different bands and stuff like that. Well, to cut it short is that we've been through a lot of living in the world. So when me and Mark started really coming closer to our beliefs, which are, not to push religion, because it's not religion, it's your personal walk and whatnot. And started to believe it's like, but the 777 really comes down to what it says in Revelations in the Bible. It talks about the seven seals, the seven trumpets, and the seven bowl judgments. And that's where the 777 came from.
Yeah.
But,
And Striper.
And
And
Striper,
we borrowed
yeah.
it from Striper.
And,
We borrowed it a little bit.
And, we just seen.
Thank you,
We've
guys.
been seeing, yeah, right. Yeah. Just seeing a lot of bad stuff in the world. We want to have our say.
Want to
Yeah.
be positive.
We're trying to
Yeah.
be positive and have unity instead of, indifference and the shootings, and it's just getting terrible. And,
Yeah.
and one thing I really want to say to all the young people out there is vote. That's how you
Yeah.
can hit. That's the only way your voice can be heard in this country, really,
right.
in
Absolutely.
non-violent demonstration.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
with you.
It's just getting out of
Absolutely.
control.
It
People.
is. man.
Hello to Amanda Kelly in the Facebook live chat.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, are you as far as not to go too far down this road, but
Right.
I've always been kind of interested in because I've talked about it with other people on the show. I know that I'm no theologian, but I know that there's the Book of Revelation itself. There's some controversy there, right?
It's mysterious. Most mysterious book in the
because
Bible.
because theologians argue over that,
Yeah,
like
well, of course.
like the idea that because some of them don't think it should be there. Some theologians, because it's got it's at the end.
The truth, man.
It's at the end of the New Testament, but it's got a very Old Testament vibe.
Well, that's
you know what I mean.
And there's so much imagery too, and there's so much imagery also that's there that
people take it too literal.
Some people take it too literally. I've caught myself, even myself.
Too. Yeah.
And but it's a very misunderstood book. What I tell people when it comes to books like that, I mean, if you're spiritually inspired, pray about it. Usually an answer can come to you. Yeah. But I understand the controversy. Yeah. Because we're no theologians either by no sense of the stretch. I mean, that's the thing. We're trying to get away from,
we don't want
all the separate religions.
We don't want to be called religious.
Right.
We don't go to a church.
Exactly. We don't go to a church.
We have people that, like my fiance has a Bible study.
Which is just another thing.
People are drawn to our house for a reason. And it's our beliefs. But any book in there, which I don't want to get into too much into it, but any book in there is just really, it's what's in you.
Right.
It'll
it's
tell
more your
you
personal walk.
how to interpret it. And that's it. And I don't want to get too much into that.
Sure,
I don't want to be, pushing too much. I don't want people to think that, straight up just Christian guys,
Right, because you don't want to be pigeonholed either.
No, absolutely
exactly.
not. Yeah.
Pigeonholed, that's the word. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, because that can be tricky.
It's just our beliefs, and it comes out in our music, like the beaten path, like the lyrics. Now, the first verse is, I read the news today. All the people have gone astray from what I see in the world, Then the second part is biblical from Matthew. Wars and rumors of wars. The harlot she sits on every shore. And the third verse is slogans and bogus campaigns.
Which is a political
It's a propagandial twist. Don't let it infiltrate your mind, Yeah. Because it's, people read too much into it. I have myself. I'm guilty, But, that's what that song is about.
Yeah.
Just the world today.
Right.
Look around you.
Yeah. With a name though, like I know, like, you don't want to be pigeonholed, but with a name like that, though, that's kind of...
we knew it. We expected
it.
Yeah,
we expected that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could keep the 3-7... We could keep
already.
Right. We could keep the 3-7 part of it, 3-7s part of it out, and it would still be just Revelation Nation. And the whole thing of it is we were told a long time ago by some really spiritual people that we're going to be part of a revival someday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And now that the world's so violent, and everybody's treating each other so badly with no tolerance, no love, no nothing.
Yeah.
Right. So we figure, well, what a great time now to start spreading some of these messages around that are more positive.
Right.
We're a metal band, but
we're written in the 90s, man.
Really? Yeah, these two songs, were written years ago.
91, Desert Storm, we wrote.
The Storm, right.
Oh,
that's from the Desert Storm War.
Yeah, Beaten Path was 93, right?
Yeah, I wrote it in my bedroom at my mom's house.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
My parents are very patriotic, too.
Yeah.
My family, too.
It's another thing.
Well, got to be, man. United States of America, the best country in the world, man.
Absolutely.
Most powerful, always will be.
Yeah. Well, we hope.
If we unite, if we start uniting more, then we will get to that plateau. Absolutely. Get back to where we used to be,
Yeah.
That's what we see. Anyways, our interpretation, but everybody's got their own opinion.
Right.
We don't down anybody. We don't judge people.
Yeah.
We've been judged ourselves enough, so we...
Well, talk to me about that. Now, what do you mean when you say that you guys have been judged? Or Mark, I heard you use the word persecuted.
Kind of. With words, we wanted to do some good. What we do is everything.
Do a lot of benefits.
Anything that we make as far as money, donations, stuff like that, we take 10% tithe it right out to any local community that's up in the Lakes region. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, we went to one in particular. I'm not naming any names, but they did not receive us very well. It was almost like their religion got in the way.
Yeah.
Because they saw us.
Yeah.
They didn't even give the music a chance, which.
No.
Because
really,
the minute you say metal, or the minute you say anything like that to anyone that's maybe too religious, or something like that, and letting their religion get in the way of their faith, then I think that's what happened. I really
Yeah.
did. You know, they just like didn't
We thought
receive
that.
us anything, you know, and we were trying to help them out just like a lot of people up there do.
Yeah.
You know, because they do a lot of good for people up there, you know, they do.
Yeah.
But they just didn't
We
receive
thought
us
we
very
could
well.
add on with
Yeah,
Wow.
we thought we could help them out, and
Yeah.
you know,
But we're going for recycled percussion now. We
Yeah,
got a
they're
little
really good
connection to
guys,
them.
and
nice
Yeah.
guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
They opened the place up in Laconia,
Yeah.
and
which
we got a little connection to them. So we're going to try to coincide with them, collaborate with them.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
they're
that's
big,
great.
They're huge,
we'll see if
man.
they want to,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
just put it
Yeah,
out there
yeah,
for
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Nice
yeah.
guys.
Because we want to, you know, on the same end of the spectrum, we
The
do
same
like
way.
they do. We're
Yeah.
the same way. We want to give back to our community. We want to help, you know, help the people. We've all of us have been in situations in our life that, you know, have not been very great. You know,
Yeah.
so we want to help
Right.
people that have helped, you know, give back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually surprised that that whatever the organization was, I know you don't want to say who it was,
Right,
but
right.
that they would kind of turn you away because
Yeah.
and I know you don't want to be categorized, but Christian rock is pretty big,
Right.
nowadays. So it's so that someone would, I mean, I assume they're like, maybe their attitude was what, like, oh, loud guitars, scary.
Well,
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
That could be
The
one
The
thing.
lady
Yeah.
said to me that, well, it's not me. I'm just concerned about my audience. She didn't even look at a press pack, a promo pack, a pictures,
Really?
anything. Listen to a CD and just by looks.
It's almost right. I think it was
stereotype,
right.
you know?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
stereotyping.
And
thing.
we're so dead set against that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot stand stereotyping, man, and injustice. We both
Yeah.
we can't stand for that, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there's no reason. There's no reason. Why don't you get to know somebody 5 minutes even before, by the way they look, you're gonna judge them?
Right, right. Yeah.
Anybody that's common should be common sense, I believe.
No, I'm with you. I agree.
Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
You're listening to Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet and IPMNation.com. Here's more of my conversation with the guys from Revelation Nation 777. Do you guys, actually, obviously you're not playing out currently because you're looking for new members, but
Right. Well, we still play duos.
Right.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
We do our own set
We have a little show. We even
that we do ourselves.
we
Yeah,
do electric
absolutely.
even. He wails on his Les Paul and his Paul Reed Smith, and we get some heavy stuff.
yeah.
I mean, this stuff is more commercial, but we got some heavy rock if people really like heavy stuff, man. And we got a lot of dynamics. And
Yeah.
this guitar player, is one amazing,
Stop.
phenomenal
Stop
guy. Yeah, he's too modest,
Stop
but,
it.
but it's just we've been together so long. It's like a Steve Tyler, Joe Perry, Robert Plant,
It is.
and Jimmy
In
Page.
this little microcosm that it is.
We have that. We have that chemistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, how long have you guys played together?
off
On
and
and
on.
off for
35 years.
Wow.
This year.
No
it would
kidding.
Be, if we would have stuck it out together through it all, it would be 35 years.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
why?
kind of old guys.
Well,
we don't look it, but yeah.
So why didn't you? Why didn't you?
Oh, we went in different directions.
Yeah.
He went towards boxing,
Yeah, I was
and I still stayed.
Really?
I still stayed
Yeah.
in a band. I had a fairly modestly successful band back in the late '90s, early 2000s called Liquid Native, and
big in Manchester.
and it was, we had a lot of good gigs, and it was a fun band, and we had
Liquid.
good members. The drummer went on to be in a band called Mindset
Mindset
X,
X.
which is a great band.
Oh my, yeah,
Yeah, they're awesome.
very successful.
Yeah,
He's my
and,
cousin.
yeah, he's a good guy,
Drama.
and I want to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
it was cool to have that experience with him. He was just starting out,
So
and
so I thought there was something familiar about you.
yeah,
You and
Yeah.
I have met before.
probably,
No, we have. When you were in Liquid Native.
Probably.
You and I have
Yeah,
met before. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
funny.
probably.
Yeah. I thought there was something
Yeah.
familiar about you.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's me.
I mean, that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
but wow.
I had a blast with that
The
band. It was
90s.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wish
Late
all the guys in the band. I wish them well. The bass player's doing his own thing up in the Lakes region. A band called Infinite Sin. They're doing okay. I guess I heard them on one of the radio stations the other night, so that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that we're all doing something. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Yeah,
It's really
yeah.
cool.
Wow. And Marky, you were a boxer?
Yeah. Well, my friend that's here, I got to give a shout out to Joey LaRue, which was one of the best fighters, probably the best fighter in New Hampshire. he gives us our transportation, man. He's,
Yeah.
he's awesome, and his girlfriend Megan, his wife. I'm sorry, and you know, I met up with him like 3 years ago, and I was like, I remember you from fighting and blah blah blah. But the guy went to the Olympic Nationals,
Yeah.
you know, and then went a huge pro career, fought in Atlantic City, Las Vegas.
You can get on the mic if you want. There's a mic there if you want to. I mean, he is sitting here talking about you.
Yeah, yeah. Right behind. No,
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That was the wrong mic. Oh.
And the chair's broken.
Oh.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I'm not much of a talker, but yeah, I had a nice amateur career, over 100 fights. And,
Oh, wow.
You know, I fought with a lot of big names. I fought with Mike Tyson.
No kidding.
Yeah, he was 212 pounds. I was 103.
You fought him?
No way.
Oh.
No. I just met with him on the same boxing team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, still, though, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Lowell's son boxing team down there
Wow.
in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay.
That was a lot of fun.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, big support right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
I love these guys. I love the word.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as far as the religion part of it, you know, we may not jive completely on the religion part of it, but it's the word that's important.
Yeah.
And these guys are spreading a good word, you know.
Cool.
trying to be positive, man.
Yeah.
So you
Thank
were.
you, champ.
Thank you.
So you were about. So did you train Marky or what? How does
No, he was in my corner once.
Yeah, with a tough man. We
Yeah,
had a tough
Tough
man
Man
over in
competition.
Concord there at the
Outbreak
the
Arena.
I,
Everett
I remember
Arena.
when they used to do those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
Marky was a smoker. He'd go in there and smoke him out. He fought a guy,
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger, who I knew from, oh goodness, we're talking, I started young, probably 38 years ago. And Marky went in there and smoked him. Yeah.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
went and
Wow.
smoked him.
I don't know.
I did. I saw the fight.
I think you're making him. Think you're making him blush. So how many
He does
fights?
make me blush.
How many fights did you
I
have,
only
Marky?
had like 4 or 5 fights.
Yeah?
Amateur.
Yeah.
And Tough Man and Boston Garden was
Yep.
nice.
No kidding.
And yeah, Maine and just New Hampshire mainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
my claim to fame was I was the second to the last fight ever at Boston Garden.
Oh no
Nice.
kidding.
That was cool.
Yeah,
I wanted
it's
to get
cool.
a piece.
Yeah, that's right.
I wanted to get a
Yes.
piece of the parquet.
That's what it was. Yeah.
But the parquet cost more than my freaking fight was worth, you know. So I was like, yeah, I don't
did.
think so.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was expensive.
I got a brick.
$500.
I got a brick from the garden. That's pretty cool.
Did you?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. I
cool.
went down
Yeah.
and saw Van Halen in '98 and
Oh,
got a brick
I
when they were
remember
tearing
that.
it down.
Yeah, Gary
Got a-
Cherone.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
extremely
when Gary
sick.
was singing for him.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Still have that brick.
So how long did you fight for? You
Like 4 years.
okay.
Not long.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I had to get out of my system. I guess all the pent up stuff, you know. And I grew up, you know, a poverty stricken and very poor. And my brothers, I had 3 older brothers, so they just taught me, you know, you got to be tough. You can't take crap from people. And but it was actually, now I look back on it, it's not the right way to grow up. But you know, and how to hustle on the streets and everything, you know, just bad stuff.
Yeah.
We lived in the city.
Yeah.
You know, ghetto type environment, and when you ain't got money, you have to find a way to get money. But no,
Right.
not like that anymore.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
raise my fist to a man again. You know, never.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Well,
changed completely.
Plus, getting punched yourself, it probably isn't.
Yeah,
the
that
yeah,
most-
it doesn't help my brain very
Doesn't
much.
time very well.
My memory's not.
Yeah, but
too
Mark,
solid.
if, if they want to pay me, I'll come out of retirement.
Yeah.
I've had
50 something.
three neck surgeries. My neck has been reconstructed.
hit
Oh,
it-
wow,
hit it
really?
once, it'll
Yeah.
Ooh, that's scary.
it'll crumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a real good sport, believe me.
No, it's not.
Wow.
No, I mean we've had a hard enough time with him. You know, being in band with him, being late all the time. And
Yeah.
now he's late, dyslexic, and you know, but he gets on stage and pulls it off.
Yeah, I'm great.
You know,
Well,
he
there you go.
don't need a teleprompter.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not that bad.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, me and Will, we're gonna take and
We're comfortable up
we're gonna make sure he's late for his own funeral.
Right.
We're gonna
Right.
hold it back and toast a couple beers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, make sure he's
That's
late.
awesome, man.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know. That's
So-
the way I am.
Tell me about the record label you guys are working with, Bally Records.
Yeah,
What-
yeah. Nice guy, Bobby Vashon. He's in a successful band, country band called Canyon Run. They play at the Hoppington Fair. They play. They don't they turn down smaller gigs. You know, I mean, they're on their way, but at the same time, him and his wife opened. They already started Bally. We're the first people to record on Bally Records, and so we just want to prove ourselves to him. And what we plan on is going back into the studio in the fall or midwinter.
Well, we're almost there now. Yeah, probably more like winter. Yeah.
Right, and finish this and make a full EP so we can shop it to bigger record labels, or indie labels. You know, they really don't accept just two songs, but we just want to see what people think, and
we want to put more because we have more dynamic. We have more songs that are like in different veins than even what you've heard. I mean,
all over the place.
We go from everything from heavy-ish, Pantera-ish to what you've heard to
very much harmonies
to what you'll hear on
his harmonies
the Storm.
Are incredible. This guy is a great guitarist
You gotta
and
stop,
a harmony vocalist.
stop.
Dude,
He's right.
He's amazing, man.
I've been doing it for a long time. Once you do it, I guess you do something for a long time, you get good at it.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
My older brother taught us.
Yes, I mean,
how to sing
right.
harmony.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, no
great.
kidding.
Yeah, his older brother. I mean, his older brother Ernie. God bless him. He's been gone for some years now, but
Oh, wow.
God bless him because he really did. We used to sit and just like every cool rock story. You know, we used to sit in the bedroom and do harmonies. And he'd make sure our harmonies were right during
Sing
Striper songs, the Beatles,
Striper,
you name it.
Like,
Anything that had some harmonies.
you
in
do
it,
the third. I'll do the fifth.
That's
and,
how we learned.
Mark, you sing the. The melody.
Or
You know what I mean? Or switch off.
Right.
You know what I mean? He taught us.
Then watching Ernie's band back in the day. First he started with Dead Ringer. That's an old New Hampshire band, and then Raider later on.
Yeah.
So they were big. Ernie was big inspiration on us for sure.
Yeah, he was.
You know,
And
it really was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Big history there.
my whole family are musicians.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So,
Everyone in
so,
my family.
so they must be pretty supportive of what you do.
Yeah,
right?
they're very supportive, which is awesome.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a lot of them have gone home now, but
Yeah.
you know, we know
Yeah.
they're proud of us.
We know where they're at.
Yeah,
so
they're doing the right. You know, they know we're doing the right thing.
We celebrate their life. We know they're shining down, smiling
right.
at us, and saying,
Yeah.
"There you go, boys. That's what you should be doing."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we used to do the sex, drugs, rock and
Oh
roll
yeah.
thing.
We were there.
30 years
All
ago.
of
You
us.
know, we did I know a lie.
Yeah.
But we're not about that anymore,
No.
man.
Yeah.
Just,
No, we
let's love each other.
Yeah.
What's so hard? It's harder to hate somebody than it is to love
You
somebody. That's
spend
what
more
proves
energy
back.
and time. That's
Exactly.
for sure.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so why not love each other? That's why we're hooking up with a lot of nonprofit organizations. You know, the NAACP.
Yeah.
The
Veterans.
the veterans are
for
huge.
Peace for nonviolence.
Yeah.
New Hampshire.
the LB.
All of them.
Now it's so long I can't. But anybody, the Me Too movement. We're supportive of people. People have been through stuff and.
They want to make a change.
Yeah.
Right. And that's
we
where
all have,
diversity comes in. We're tired of division. It shouldn't be white against black or white against Mexican and nothing like that.
Yeah.
That's wrong in our eyes, in our
Agreed.
view.
Agreed. Yeah.
That's what we're trying to really get through to people. That's our main message.
Yeah.
man.
What was? Did you guys have? Did either of you or each of you have a moment that kind of brought you more to this point, or was it just kind of a gradual thing?
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
older
Around
and
the
start
same
to,
time.
Actually,
Really?
yeah. He was playing with a band in Laconia that was starting to do something to me. I was like not doing anything for quite a while, and I just thought back to when we were told that we're going to be part of something. Watching the world get crazier and crazier, and saying, listen, maybe I thought in my mind, and I just got a hold of him and said, hey, what are you doing musically? You still jamming with them guys, or what's going on? What are you open for? And he's like, no, I think we both came to a consensus that I think it's time to do this.
Yeah.
And we've been getting the small blessings that we get from doing this and helping people and stuff. It's just
getting bigger and bigger.
It's bigger. It's overwhelming, and
We have
how
to
can I
be
put
patient,
it?
Patience,
But it's really cool how far we've come from just
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. We started out just playing together,
Yeah.
just jamming together, just a vocalist and a guitar
I just
player.
hope it reaches people. The message reaches people, and like with the storm and stuff about our veterans and
9/11 was yesterday.
Yeah, and,
Yep.
right.
So I'm glad we didn't do it yesterday. Actually,
Right.
you know what I mean. You don't want to hurt people. You know what I mean. But
Yeah.
we are very patriotic, and my father fought in World War II. He was a turret gunner in a B-2 bomber, and and my oldest brother was as well in Vietnam, and so it's very patriotic. Actually, my heritage, my mother is a direct descendant of one of the founding fathers of
Really?
the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, that's wild.
Josiah Barley.
Yeah.
I got proof of that.
That's pretty cool.
But I mean, but he was born and raised very patriotic. His parents were very patriotic.
Yeah, they were very much so.
And
they weren't in the service or anything, but they always supported.
We're not Democratic or Republican.
No.
We're in the middle. But the way things are looking, the Democrats kind of seem like they got a brighter idea. The Republican Party, I don't know what happened to it. I still, I respect it all.
Yeah.
And I respect our president. I'm not going to talk bad about him. He's the president of the United States of America. You can't do that. But I just don't agree with a lot of things that he does. But
No, me neither.
But that's why I get out and vote, people.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially
you want
kids.
Change, get out and do it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can
If
change
everybody
stuff.
votes, what are they going to do? They can't fix it all if everybody's voting.
No.
You know?
Yeah. That's a
That's
big
the way I
message,
look at
too.
it.
Yeah.
No, it's as our duty as a citizen of this country. That's
Yeah.
the biggest voice we have.
Yeah.
So use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put those people in Congress. And, you
Right,
know,
and it's the little elections. It ain't just the presidents.
Right.
The little ones. It's your
yeah.
Congress,
even the
senators.
state,
You know.
even the state of New Hampshire
Right,
elections.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, most important. We're the most important. The state here is the most important.
First in the nation.
First in the
primary
nation, man.
has a lot
So-
to do with it.
Yeah.
So being from here, mainly, just get out and vote, man, and go with your heart and what you think is right. And either way, do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's
No,
important,
I think
man.
that's great. I agree with you. I agree with you guys. Absolutely.
Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
This is Local Outbreak, and let's listen to even more. We talked for a long time. I felt like I hit it off with these guys, and I really enjoyed talking with them. Let's hear a little bit more of my conversation with Will and Marky from the band Revelation 777. So what now? Do you have shows coming up that you're going to be playing?
Well,
Or-
we're looking at. I'm going to say we got this gig yet, but we're looking at hopefully trying to get a gig with. If they're not booked yet, it's in middle October. Trapped is playing up in Laconia at the Granite State Music Hall. And even if me and him got to pull it off together, we can do it. We're very unique that way. And they're only
It is
three-piece.
different.
We're two-piece, but we can still rock,
Yeah.
So even if we have to do that,
Well,
if we can get that gig,
I just
it'd be great.
well, sometimes I mean, I get good rhythm behind, I get good rhythm behind this, whether it's computer or not, and I can loop bass for every
Right.
song that we have.
That's pretty cool.
You know what I mean? We've done it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we've pulled it off just to see if we could do it.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Wow.
whoa.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, maybe this is
And
something,
people,
for right now until we get who we can get.
Right.
You know?
Right.
The reaction to the audience
It is. It's
we've
pretty crazy.
captivated people. You can tell, especially as a front-man, you can tell.
Yeah,
when
who's getting
you've
into it, who
captivated
ain't.
and
Yeah.
who ain't, and
Yeah.
we've done so many benefits. We've done.
You did my wedding. My mother
Wedding.
was up there rocking.
Yeah.
I mean, she was rocking out to you guys. I thought that was
But people's eyes, you can read their eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And they accepted us, especially the vets. So many vets came up to us.
Yeah, even if they
afterwards
didn't
and
like
say,
our
"I
style of
loved,"
music, even they said,
that's
it's
the Storm. I love that song, The Storm.
Yeah, we've had
because
some
that's cool.
decent
it's all-
opportunities.
Yeah,
for that
it's all
song.
about it. Well, like we wrote it in '91.
It was
Desert
inspired, I
Storm.
guess. My
But,
mom, yeah.
Civil War, where I build it up
Build
on the
it up
lyric.
with the different wars.
Yeah. Add them all in.
Okay.
But you'll be playing that soon. Which
Yeah,
will be
we're gonna
cool.
we're gonna play that in a
Nice.
moment. And by the way, so on the studio material, is it just you guys?
Yep, just us.
Okay.
Yeah.
And our
And
producer,
our producer
did some drums for us
Yeah.
electronically, and
Oh,
has some real
okay.
drums on there as well.
He didn't want to be seen on
Right,
it.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not his genre.
No,
But
no.
you can tell. I mean,
But he
but,
helps, man.
uh,
He helps us
Yeah.
kick ass.
Bass guitar, 7-string
he did-
guitar,
he did,
acoustics.
yeah.
I did all that.
And
we did the
harmonies,
harmonies
vocals.
together.
Yeah.
And
Tight,
so
man.
all he had to do was just go in there and pull it off,
Yeah.
and he did.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Well,
Nice.
great. Well, and before we'll wrap up in a moment, but where should people go online to keep up with everything you guys are doing and find out about shows and all that stuff?
Revelation Nation 777 on Facebook.
Okay.
And we have a video on YouTube. Same thing.
Of the Beaten
Revelation
Path.
Nation 777 Beaten Path.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, too, tell us about the video because the video is pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, you liked it all right?
Yeah.
I thought it was
It's
stupid,
just homespun.
Yeah.
Homespun by the
the
guy that produced
Our
the
producer did it.
Oh,
And,
okay.
He just-
we weren't even prepared. He's
Yeah,
like,
I know,
I
he just
got
sprung it
a
on us.
surprise for you. Oh, man.
Okay.
I would have wore some more makeup if I would have known,
Right.
man. You know?
what? So
Yeah, it
he
was-
so he just put that together
Yeah,
out
he
of
put
footage
that together
and
like
he
that.
didn't tell you.
He made,
He's a
no,
genius.
He,
He's a genius, man.
Wow.
What he
yeah.
did was that it's kind of like not sunk up with the song, but kind of
Yeah.
like it's kind of a little after the fact.
We
The
wanted
song's
a live
playing and then
feel.
the video plays. Yeah, so it's just
yeah.
kind of like
Here's
a
you guys.
performance in
Yeah.
the studio type of deal.
Okay.
All
right.
It's cool. I had fun. I didn't really, like I said, totally sprung on us.
Right,
We were
yeah.
Yeah.
because we did this recording over the course of 3 days. We ended it
We
and
had no
recorded it on
sleep.
Good Friday. So
Really?
we called it Good Friday.
Yeah, we called it Good Friday at
first,
yeah.
Yeah.
because that's when it was finished and stuff. But we hammered out 2 days, just got these songs, tried to tweak
Yeah.
them as best we could, just the two of us,
Yeah.
and hopefully people like it.
Yeah.
Now we're going back in,
Well,
like I
everybody
said,
likes
and
it.
do more. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We got some
got
more
some new
bluesy
material
stuff,
we're
too.
writing,
Yep.
and we got another song from the old ages that
Oh, yeah,
we'll probably play.
a lot of people
We're not
remember
sure
us by
yet.
up in-
we might
up
play
north.
something really heavy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So we can get really heavy.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of people compared
I
us
don't have
to
a speed limit yet.
Pantera, Metallica.
Yeah, it's like
Yep.
you know,
somebody said
Poison.
Black Sabbath, Striper, and Pantera mixed together. I'm like, where do you hear that?
Wow.
I mean, I
Yeah.
can hear the Black Sabbath in it, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Hey,
Sabbath's big.
There are worse things to be compared
Oh,
to.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it.
absolutely.
I mean, I could never fill the shoes of a guitar player like Dimebag Darrell or anybody
No.
like that. I mean, I God rest his soul. I mean, I love him.
Or George
but
Lynch,
he had an
Dickie Lee.
effect on me. He's a lot of the '80s guitar players had
Oh,
an
yeah.
effect on me.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been George Lynch, Jake E. Lee. Them are the two I can think of the most that I'm really
Yeah,
inspired
and
by. The
you can
old
hear it.
guys like Gary Moore.
Yeah.
I love Hendrix, Page, Tony Iommi, of course, the riff master.
You like, when people mention George Lynch, of course, everyone thinks of Dawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I loved Lynch Mob.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he still has
Ha-
Lynch
have-
Mob, by the way.
Lynch Mob's still going?
Have you heard
Right.
Sweet and Lynch?
Yeah.
Michael Sweet
Michael
from
Sweet from
Striper.
Striper.
And George Lynch.
I know about it, but I haven't heard any of that.
Then, they got two albums out.
And then,
Pretty good, man.
then George Lynch has this other band with Doug Pinnick from King's X. Which
Oh,
King's
I
X is
love
We
King's
just met
X.
my
those
favorite.
guys.
We just
Yeah.
met
Just met
them.
them.
Yeah,
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
when they were up in Laconia. They're like my ultimate favorite band.
Yeah,
of
they
all
were so
time.
good, man.
And
yeah.
Oh.
well, he's got this band with George Lynch called KXM with the drummer from Korn.
I didn't know that.
They're awesome. Look them up. KXM.
Oh, wow.
They're really great. They're like they're kind of like a little mixture of King's X, a little mixture of Dawkins, with a little mixture of something else. But
Wow.
he still does the Lynch Mob too. He's
Yeah.
a busy
Yeah.
man.
That
George
first,
Lynch
that-
is a busy
that-
man.
That first Lynch Mob album is
great.
fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Sweet Sister Mercy is one of my.
That's
I might
that's
later.
an awesome
That
song.
is one of my
Yes, it is.
favorite
Yeah.
songs of all time. It was
He's great.
never. It was
Nice.
never a hit single or
I
anything.
know.
But
No.
that is
George
an
Lynch-
amazing song.
George Lynch is such an underrated guitar
Yeah.
player.
He is,
You
yeah.
know,
You'll
he's
hear
got
a
the
lot of his
sweetest
playing.
vibrato.
It's very
That's why I
much
got my
George
vibrato and
Lynch,
stuff
man.
because
Yeah.
I just think he plays with such feel.
Yeah.
Out of all the shred
does.
guitar players and stuff
Yeah.
at that age, and I remember reading an old Randy Rhoads interview talking about George Lynch being an up and coming guitar player.
Yeah.
That he was going to smoke everybody.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
Randy Rhoads
Yeah.
himself saying that in an interview, like,
Yeah.
"Wow, no kidding," and then putting it all together. But yeah,
Right.
but I like I said, I love Jake E. Lee too because
Yeah.
it's almost like I like
Yeah.
the underrated guys the most.
Yeah, me
I
too.
love
Yeah.
I love Gary Moore.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the
Yeah.
greatest guitar players that ever lived,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
No doubt.
Striper, man.
Yeah, there's
them
another
guys are
band,
underrated.
one of the
Michael
two
Sweet
duo
and-
guitar players
and
that is good as
Oz
the guys
Fox.
in Maiden the Priest.
They
You know
don't
what I
get it.
mean?
Yeah, they can
just
you
as
compare
good.
them.
Yeah,
if you
I think.
really listen to them.
Oh yeah.
And the new stuff is terrific. And,
Yeah, it really
you know, And their mother,
Michael, he's always a
Michael
busy man as
and,
well.
And Robert, the drummer, I talk to her frequently.
Yeah.
and she's
She's
giving
a
me
nice
so
lady.
much business advice and about the business.
Oh, that's good.
and
Yeah, she's
She
a very
helps
good
me
lady.
out a lot. Us out a lot.
Yeah,
you
she
know?
does.
Yeah.
A lot of good
Listen to
advice.
us.
And
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, my friend Troy St. Jacques, who I used to be in a band with called the Jinx, he knows Michael Sweet really well, and,
Does he?
and he's
Yeah.
kind of gotten to know the family
Yeah,
and everything.
Yeah, they're nice people, man.
that's what
Send
I
me
hear,
Christmas
yeah.
cards with pictures of the whole family
Oh,
every year.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
nice
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
man.
And you mentioned Sabbath. Let me just ask you guys before
yeah.
we wrap.
All right.
Do you guys? Because I have this argument with people. Do you guys agree with me that Sabbath is probably the most misunderstood band?
Yeah.
oh,
ever?
absolutely.
That's the way. That's what's going on
totally.
with us. Man.
I mean,
Yeah.
just listen. I tell people to listen
look
to
at
that.
look at War Pigs or
Right,
look at
right. Look
what's
at-
the other, Children of the Grave.
They were doing what
and
we're
that's
doing.
kind of what
Kind of,
we're
I guess.
doing now,
Right.
modernly.
Right.
Right.
you know?
I mean, I think what
Lyrical
people misunderstood
and
about Sabbath the
music-wise.
most obviously is Satanism.
Yeah, and
I
they weren't
think
like
they were
that.
the most again. I mean, listen to the lyrics
Exactly.
on just
Read them.
just on Masters of Reality.
Yeah,
I know.
Just
yeah.
on that album alone.
Yeah.
That's my favorite album, always has been.
Yeah.
But there
And
is
the lyrics line up
it's
with ours.
they really do. I mean, they were pushing, even on that album, they're talking about how we shouldn't be so religious. We should be more,
Yeah.
our relationship with God should be more personal, like on After Forever.
Yeah.
And then you get Lord of this World.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
tells you about what was going on at that time and this time, which is just getting worse, people.
Right. Right.
And I do
Yeah.
see
We line
I
up.
think the misunderstanding is that Sabbath was a satanic band, and I don't really think they were so much.
No.
I think maybe something, if you believe in that kind of thing, something maybe that might have been following them around here and there, because when you get into that kind of stuff, it does. Take my word for it, people. It
know.
will follow you around.
Yeah.
Well, what I always
know?
tell people too is like you see the old pictures of Ozzy like on the edge of the stage doing the double peace sign.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't doing it ironically.
No.
like
No.
he meant it.
Because he did.
Yeah.
And he
that's-
always meant when he said,
I
God
saw-
bless,
I
God
saw
bless
him
you every
three-
single
yeah, I
night
was
when
just
he,
gonna say.
when he went off. too.
Yeah, yeah.
When I saw him 3 times, man, and
They were
every
I just
time he
think
said
that was very
the last
understood-
thing he did
misunderstood
was
about them, yeah.
put
Yeah.
up the peace sign and said, "God bless you all."
Yeah, yeah.
I just
You
think
know?
that,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
misunderstood
Yeah.
about a lot of bands. If you want
Yeah.
to be,
a lot
be
of
honest
propaganda
about it,
from the
really.
record labels
Yeah,
that-
of course.
yeah.
Do
Well,
the upside
Satan,
down
death,
crossing with
all
them.
that sells. You know.
You know?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Unfortunately.
That's not where his heart is. I don't think
No,
Ozzy's heart.
no, I don't
No,
think any
no.
of them.
I love
To
that
be
guy.
honest
No.
with you,
No, any of Sabbath.
I've seen interviews, read interviews and stuff, and
Yeah.
they're always gentlemen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
British gents. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I read an interview once with Geezer Butler where he was talking about how he was. I think he this is something he has in common with my father, if I remember this correctly, because
Yeah.
my dad was actually in the seminary studying for the
That's right.
priesthood.
Oh, he was?
But then he bolted when he
That's-
met the woman who would eventually become my mother.
Right.
And fell in love with her and realized the priesthood wasn't for him.
Right.
Well, that's a smart
lucky
thing
for
to
me.
do.
Lucky for me.
Right,
But
well,
but yeah,
did
but
the right thing.
But I think
Absolutely.
Geezer was also, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken,
he was.
He had been studying
Yeah,
for the
yes, he
priesthood,
was.
and then he got into
Oh,
music
absolutely.
instead.
I didn't even know that.
And he
Yeah.
even said, I remember reading an interview with him one time, and he even said that a lot of the imagery and stuff was boosted by the record companies and stuff, more so
Yeah.
like their covers and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I remember reading something about when they did the Born Again album with Ian Gillan.
Which I love,
I
by
love
the
that
way.
album too.
Underrated.
But
Great
I tell
album.
you, the cover was never agreed upon by the band. Never.
Yeah, that was a stupid
That's
color.
that's when they did.
Purple
That's when
with
they did the little spinal
baby-
tap
little
thing and
baby
hauled around
devil
that
thing,
big.
yeah.
That's when they hauled around that big Stonehenge thing. They did a little Spinal Tap. There was
yeah.
like arenas that they couldn't
Yeah,
play
they
in
did.
and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Spinal Tap kind of knocked on them about
Yeah.
that. You know
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's an underrated album. I agree.
Yeah, Born Again is
100%.
fantastic.
100%. Great, good album. I mean, Ian Gillan. I guess.
Yeah. My vocals are somehow.
Yeah,
like
he's
his.
very old British metal.
Yeah.
I hear Biff Bifford from Saxon in his
Yeah,
voice
yeah.
all the time.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
definitely.
But, yeah, I mean-
it's an added mixture of a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Rob
He does this
Halford
cleaned
and
up over the years. You know what I
Bruce
mean?
Dickinson.
Yeah.
Michael Sweet's my number one favorite, but I could never hit anything that guy can hit, man.
Yeah.
He's slowed down now, tuned down, but still,
Yeah.
I can barely even get to
Yeah,
that.
it-
The guy's phenomenal.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, but
He's got good control.
But
Amazing control.
yeah, I have a lot of that. You know, the old British
well,
metal
yeah.
guys is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
influence, really. You know,
Yeah.
Vince Neil from Motley Crue
It's
actually
your,
was. At
it's
one
your
point.
Ethel Merman vibrato. Yeah, like
Yeah, it's like Ethel Merman type. I mean, I got to laugh at it.
I know,
myself 'cause
I know.
it
Me
sounds
too. We
like
said that one time, but yeah.
Yeah, in the studio, man. In the
That's
recording
funny.
studio.
That's funny. All right, guys. Well, we'll begin to wrap up, but we'll finish up with this track, "The Storm."
Yeah.
And
So for all the soldiers, all the first responders, and everybody out there that's, paid service to the country, even if you weren't in combat, if you wore the uniform, man,
This is for you.
hey, we honor you.
this will be a great way to end the segment. And thank you guys for coming in.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
This
Matt,
has been
so
fantastic.
Much. We appreciate it.
And nice to meet you as well, sir.
yeah.
you.
And
Thanks, champ.
all right, so I got more show coming up, but we'll finish up with these guys. And this is The Storm. This is Revelation Nation 777.
Mothers weep as the sons march off to war. The weary faces, something you can't ignore. Got a musket bee and them canteens out dry as the regiment is up to the front line. Bugle sounds as my courage rises. Have to watch my back for any sudden surprises. In with the heart of a lion, fist made of stone. With ice cold eyes, you gotta go it alone. Standing up for freedom, I'm ready to fight. Can't you see the fires in my I feel the pain in my chest as one cold, then warm. As the troops move in, like a desert storm. Bars lay straight across the land. My bandages are turning red again. In with the heart of a lion, fist made of stone. With ice cold eyes, you gotta go it alone. Standing up for freedom, I'm ready to fight. Can't you see the fires in my say the blessings forever. Yellow ribbons to show support.
Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Hey, everybody, this has been Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Matt Connarton here with you. Really enjoyed talking with those guys from Revelation Nation 777. We were just going to kind of do like a short 20-minute thing, but the conversation went in some interesting directions. And so, we talked for longer, and we were able to fit the whole thing in, it turns out. So that's great. So it's a win on all sides. So if you'd like to be a guest on the show or have your music featured, or you maybe want to suggest someone that we should have on, etc., there's a couple of different ways that you can reach out. Of course, we are on the Facebook. I like to call it the Facebook, old school. The Local Outbreak page. First of all, please give it a like if you haven't done so already. And that is one of the ways that you can reach out to us. Another way, of course, if you go to ipmnation.com/local outbreak, you can find not only the full archive for the show, but that's another way you can contact us through that page. Shoot me an email, submissions at ipmnation.com. There's another way you can reach out. So there you go. There's no shortage of ways that you can reach out to the show. And like I said, maybe get on the show or suggest someone you think we should have on the show. Send us an MP3. All that good stuff. So I do want to thank everybody who continues to support the show and who continues to support local music, as I always say, whether you are an active participant or an innocent bystander of the local music scene. Really, really appreciate that. Please continue to do it. And please continue to support these artists. If you hear something you like on the show, make sure you reach out online to the band or solo artist or whomever it may be. Let them know you like what they're doing. Buy their music, or if they're giving it away, just download their music. Try to get out to a show if you can. I know maybe I sound a little bit preachy when I say this, but seriously, a little bit of that does go a long way with these artists who are out there, just grinding away in the local music scene. It's tough, especially where, honestly, people don't go out to shows as much as they used to, because in the era that we live in, you have so many options now. You can hang out at home and do things online and whatnot. So please, it is so important. If there's an artist that you're really a fan of, find ways to support them. It doesn't have to be monetarily, although that helps too. But just, get out to a show. Let them know you enjoy what they're doing. Like I said, a little bit of that does go a long way. And there is so much incredible talent right here in the Granite State from virtually every genre you could imagine, and maybe some you didn't imagine, because some weeks we play some really unique stuff on the show too. And as always, thank you to 100.1 The Planet for being a beacon of local music here in the Granite State. There's not a lot of FM stations that support local music, and I'm not suggesting The Planet's the only FM station in New Hampshire that supports local music. They're not. There are others that we won't mention here because we're not going to talk about competitors. But, but The Planet has been carrying this show and supporting this show we are coming up on our 10-year anniversary of Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet this December. Wow, a decade. Gone in the blink of an eye, my friends. Gone in the blink of an eye. But so always very grateful to The Planet and the great people there. And so with that, I shall bid you adieu, but tune in next week, as they say. Same time, same channel. We'll be back with even more great local music for you right here on Local Outbreak.
Local Outbreak with IPMNation.com.